I want that Mulan McNugget sauce, Morty. That's my series arc, Morty. If it takes 9 seasons.
Is there any fast food restaurant that cemented itself in pop culture more than McDonald's?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce. Like, as much as you're allowed to give me.
The restaurant itself has almost come to represent the entire fast food industry as a whole. When you're on a road trip and you need something to fill up fast, McDonald's. When you're stumbling home from a party and you've had too much to drink, McDonald's. Even when you want a sweet, cold treat on a hot summer day, McFlurries anyone? It's McDonald's. However, despite its popularity and longevity, McDonald's hasn't always had the best ideas. Even though the Big Mac, the Filet-o-fish, and the McChicken have endured, there have been other McDonald's menu items that weren't so popular with the general public. So let's take a look at the top 10 McDonald's menu items that didn't last.
Wow, this sauce is amazing. You said it was promoting a movie?
McSpaghetti.
His palm spaghetti, knees weak, arm spaghetti.
Picture this. You walk into a McDonald's with your friends. Some of you order burgers, a couple of you order nuggets, you all obviously order fries. Then there's your one weird friend. He or she is always doing something very strange that you don't quite understand. That person walks up to the counter and they order spaghetti. You might think to yourself, my friend is a crazy person, but maybe they're just remembering that brief moment in time when you really could get spaghetti at McDonald's. As far as McDonald's menu items go, spaghetti was a pretty weird choice, partly because people definitely weren't going to McDonald's to get Italian food, let alone one of the most basic Italian foods out there. Anyone can make spaghetti at home, but they can't recreate the delicious taste of McDonald's fries or Mac sauce. Mixed spaghetti was first introduced in the 1970s, along with some other Italian-inspired dishes, in an attempt by McDonald's to break into the fancy dining world. Obviously, the idea didn't take, and the dishes were quickly discontinued. However, mixed spaghetti is still available in the Philippines, where it's a surprisingly popular menu item. You can also get spaghetti and other pasta dishes at the world's largest McDonald's location in Orlando, Florida. Although it's hard to imagine anyone wanting to make the trip just to see what McDonald's does with pasta.
Food fight!
McLiking this video, McSofar? Then hit that subscribe button and ring that McBell to be part of our notification squad. McHotDog.
Can I get a hot dog with everything, the ginger ale, please?
Milk and cookies, ketchup and mustard, burgers and hot dogs. These are all things that just go together.
Well, I will have a soy dog, please, on a whole wheat bun, plain, and a,
So why was the McHotDog one of the least successful McDonald's menu items? It seems like a completely logical choice.
How the hell can I trust a man won't eat a good old-fashioned American hot dog?
If McDonald's was trying to evoke the memories of a backyard barbecue, what better way to do it than to offer hot dogs in addition to their famous burgers? Well, as it turns out, a hot dog from McDonald's just doesn't look as appetizing as their burgers did. In comparing the two, it's not hard to see why. A McDonald's burger has a very specific color palette. The contrast of that yellow cheese against the brown patty makes you hungry. It triggers a sense of memory in your mind of biting into a fresh quarter pounder. When you look at the pale, boiled hot dog just lying in the oversized bun, all you can think is that you'd still rather have that burger. Even McDonald's founder Ray Kroc thought hot dogs were a bad idea. He always opposed selling them in his restaurants, saying that there was basically no way of knowing what went into making one. While it was a noble attempt, this menu item was not meant to last.
nobody, I mean nobody, puts ketchup on a hot dog.
Hot dogs have been offered in a number of locations and markets over the years, but they've never been popular enough to keep on going.
I do a great impression of a hot dog.
McStuffins.
Listen up, baby, don't fall for the cut. It's the buttery crust that makes you want so much.
You know you're really getting into some bad ideas when the food you're trying to copy is a frozen food item that's routinely mocked for its lack of quality.
Hot Pockets!
That's what happened when McStuffins were introduced as one of the newest and strangest McDonald's menu items. What were McStuffins exactly? Well, they were essentially Hot Pockets, except they were sold at McDonald's.
That's right, baby.
These weirdly named pocket sandwiches were made by stuffing French bread with fillings like pepperoni and cheese or barbecue chicken. Introduced in 1993, this breathtakingly strange menu item never made it past the 1-year mark because it was so ridiculously unpopular. They didn't even look good in the commercials, and that's supposed to be the easy part of selling a fast food item. You know you've got a true failure on your hands when even that can't be accomplished. By now, you might be starting to see a pattern. When McDonald's strays too far from its formula of burgers and fries, it usually ends up with a giant mess on its hands. Even though it promised to bake its bread fresh all day for the McStuffins, McDonald's seriously overestimated people's desire for a stuffed sandwich. Apparently, no one cared anyway.
I got an idea. How about we fill a Pop-Tart with nasty meat?
The Triple Double Burger.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
No, this is not what Ice Cube got when he was having a good day. It was actually one of the more extravagant McDonald's menu items to come out in the mid-90s. What is a triple-double burger? Besides a menu item that has way too many syllables, it was 3 patties served with lettuce, tomato, American, and Monterey Jack cheese on a long McRib-style bun. Yeah, this already sounds like way too much to handle, but trust us, it gets worse. The triple-double also went by the name the Superhero Burger because it was tied into another disaster from the mid-90s, Batman Forever. Yep, this ridiculous sandwich was used to cross-promote an even more ridiculous movie.
I'm Batman.
The triple-double was also named after several different athletes in separate markets, but it wasn't really enough to cover up for the fact that this is just a weird burger.
Joygasm!
Riddle me this, Batman. Why was it even called the triple-double? Because of the 3 patties and the 2 kinds of cheese? We guess so, but that doesn't really make it a better name. Also, we kinda doubt that anyone who wears the Batsuit would ever dare to touch this thing. It was just too much for anyone.
I'm Batman.
The McLean Deluxe.
Introducing McLean Deluxe, made with a 91% fat-free beef patty.
McDonald's has done its best to appeal to the health-conscious consumer by introducing salad after salad. Reportedly, some of these healthier McDonald's menu items are actually pretty tasty, and there's no harm in trying to sell something that's better for people than a big fat burger and fries. However, the McLean Deluxe was not the best way to accomplish this goal. This burger, introduced in 1991, was a low-fat option for people who were trying to lose weight but still wanted to eat at McDonald's. The burger was made using 91% lean ground beef and a special secret ingredient, carrageenan. Carrageenan is a food additive derived from seaweed that's used throughout the food industry for its stabilizing effects. However, it's not the most appealing ingredient, especially when it comes to adding it to a burger. The McLean Deluxe may have had lofty goals, but it had a pretty terrible way of achieving them. The ads for the beef and seaweed additive burger featured professional football players, all of them number 91, raving about how the burger was 100% delicious. It was also a 100% failure, and was discontinued in 1996. It didn't help that the burger had a weird, almost gelatinous appearance to it that didn't exactly scream, "This is meat."
Looks like meat back on the menu, boys.
Onion nuggets.
Oh, it's not good at all.
Alright, now a lot of these McDonald's menu items have been strange, bad, or completely unappetizing options. This one, though, seems like it really could have gone the distance if they had just stuck with it. McDonald's introduced its onion nuggets all the way back in 1980 to coincide with the release of another discontinued menu item, the chopped beefsteak sandwich. The items were part of McDonald's push into having a dinner menu that was only available after 4 p.m. Ooh la la, Mickey D's.
Ooh la la!
The onion nuggets were exactly what you'd expect them to be, chunks of onion that were breaded and deep fried. Wait a minute, that just sounds delicious. So what went wrong? Well, apparently at the time, neither the onion nuggets nor the beefsteak sandwich were big hits. This is actually rather unfortunate, as both McDonald's menu items have been described as being very tasty by people who were lucky enough to sample them almost 40 years ago.
What do you mean, you people?
Alas, timing is everything, and the world obviously just wasn't ready for the onion nugget.
No! She wasn't ready!
That doesn't mean they couldn't make a comeback, though. Imagine if these were on the dollar menu. Wouldn't you and your friends at least want to try them? Come on, McDonald's, give the onion nugget another chance. The Arch Deluxe.
We're grown! Okay, guys, you're grown. Want an Arch Deluxe? Yeah!
Kids love McDonald's. This has always been true, and it was especially true in the 90s when Happy Meal toys reigned supreme and cheeseburgers could be used as an incentive to get you to behave yourself at grandma's house. However, McDonald's soon saw that demographics were shifting and the marketplace was getting older. How would they respond to these changes?
Because he...
By introducing a more adult sandwich in the Arch Deluxe. The year was 1996, and McDonald's introduced this burger, which utilized fancy ingredients like peppered bacon and a secret mustard-based sauce, to try and appeal to people who were looking for something a little more mature from the Golden Arches. There was a massive marketing push behind the sandwich, as McDonald's really wanted to appeal to an older, fancier set of customers.
Arch Deluxe? You don't even get a toy with that.
Unfortunately, the Arch Deluxe failed to take off with customers due to its massive calorie count and unreasonable price. McDonald's reportedly poured over $300 million into marketing, researching, and developing the Arch Deluxe, making it one of the biggest flops in fast food history.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Well, hey, at least McDonald's got a record out of the whole thing. They also managed to utilize some of that same research in developing their salads in 2003. So, do we just call that breaking even then? Mighty Wings.
Players can't stop talking about McDonald's new Mighty Wings.
He's gonna take my Mighty Wings!
What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word McDonald's?
Did somebody say
chicken wings? Of course you didn't, because that would be insane. However, the ever-popular chicken wing once found a home at McDonald's where it was known as the Mighty Wing. Why it was considered mighty, we're not really sure. McDonald's Mighty Wings were introduced in 2013 when McDonald's executives realized that, hey, people seem to really like chicken wings. Well, they weren't exactly wrong, but they sort of missed the point. People like chicken wings from restaurants that specialize in serving chicken wings. No one was flocking to McDonald's and lamenting the fact that they didn't serve everyone's favorite bar food. Mighty Wings were heavily breaded and were reportedly very crunchy and spicy. It was the second point that really turned people off of the wings. Customers reported that the Mighty Wings might have had too much might and were too spicy for their palates.
they're spicy?
The wings were also overpriced, which further added to their unpopularity. McDonald's was left holding the bag on this one.
You gotta always protect the McNuggets.
And that bag contains somewhere near 10 million pounds of unsold chicken wings. The McDLT.
I'm talking quarter pound of beef on the hot side. And the hot stays hot. The new McDLT.
The McDLT, which stood for McDonald's lettuce and tomato, was a pretty novel idea when it was introduced in 1984. Apparently, people really had a problem with the vegetables on their burger getting all hot and gross. What was the solution to this obstacle to taste plaguing the nation? The McDLT. The burger was sold in a styrofoam container that had two compartments. One of those compartments contained the bottom bun in the burger, while the other one held the top bun, cheese, lettuce, tomato, onions, pickles, and condiments. That way, when you purchased the burger, all of your veggies would still be cool and fresh. If you've been paying attention, then you probably already spotted a couple of problems with the McDLT. First of all, the giant styrofoam box that housed the burger and toppings was seen as environmentally unfriendly. Even in the Reagan years, people recognized an environmental disaster when they saw one. The other problem was that the cheese was also kept separate from the patty, which didn't really give it an opportunity to get all melty. The McDLT is one of the most famous McDonald's menu items to just completely crash and burn. Even a jaunty commercial starring the one and only Jason Alexander couldn't save this silly product from the bad idea pile.
Oh, that was no good? I had a different interpretation!
McPizza.
Here's your very own cheese pizza.
What does a burger place do when it wants to expand into the next most popular fast food arena? It introduces pizza, of course. And that's what McDonald's has done at various times throughout its history. The McPizza started its life as personal-sized pies sold at interstate locations in Wisconsin, particularly around Madison and Milwaukee. Later on, the McPizza evolved into a full-on family-sized pizza that was brought to your table by a McDonald's employee. This supposedly gave you the impression that you were sitting in an actual pizza joint. We're not really sure if it would have worked, but McDonald's gave it a shot. Alas, as history has shown us, pizza has no place in a burger shop.
Yes, a pizza, you bumbling brainless blockhead, with animal flesh!
The McPizza betrayed what McDonald's was most known for: fast service. With prep times of up to 11 minutes, the McPizza became a drag on service. Some markets, particularly in Canada, scaled the McPizza down to a personal size, but the McPizza was not long for this world, as it was eventually completely struck from the menu altogether. Hardcore McPizza fans might be pleased to know that it still lives on in 2 franchise locations in Pomeroy, Ohio, and Spencer, West Virginia. We've got a lot on our menu, so while you're here, check out some of our other great videos.